minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys.
Yeah.
You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Morning, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome back to the morning meetup live show. My name is Callum, representing Team Kop-Ish. As always, when we get behind the mic, please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. A few things to talk about today. Alisson and Elliott are back. Also, Jayden Danns too. Chiesa spotted as well in training. The Reds are apparently looking to bid for Baleba, if reports are to be believed. Marcus Thuram's been linked to a £70 million move to Liverpool. Crazy one for me. And I'm also going to touch on Paul Joyce's tweet and article regarding Salah and Anthony. A lot to talk about then. A lot to talk about. I know I've not got it in the title, but I'm going to speak about the Paul Joyce. All right, so if anyone doesn't know, I just had a bit of context. So Paul Joyce came out yesterday saying that before Salah signed his contract extension, Klopp was actively looking to replace him with Anthony, who plays for Manchester United. Before Mike Gordon stepped in and said that it would be better use of resources to keep Salah, give him a new contract, as opposed to sell him and buy Anthony. Okay, a few things to go through here. Firstly, I love Jurgen Klopp to bits, my favorite ever manager. And I'm not just saying this in hindsight, because I think everyone knows my thoughts on Anthony before we even signed him. But to replace Salah with Anthony would have been a madness in hindsight or at the time. So that's the first thing. Secondly, why is this coming out now? What is the reason for this to come out now? Again, maybe I'm being a bit cynical here. Maybe I'm being quote unquote a Klopp fanboy. But what does releasing that information do? Who does that benefit? For me, it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit Liverpool, doesn't benefit Klopp, doesn't benefit Joyce, doesn't benefit Anthony. The only person that, or the only people collective this could benefit is the likes of Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. And you ask, why would it benefit them? Well, it would benefit them because they haven't sorted out the mess that is the three contracts at the moment. We bought a player in the summer who we've seen play 77 minutes in total for Liverpool Football Club. We've also going into a January transfer window where many of the fan base, or much of the fan base, shall I say, want players but believe we won't sign players because of history. I ask again, why did this information come out now? Why are we seeing stuff like this come out now? And why is it from Paul Joyce, who we know has direct links to the club? So it's not like Paul Joyce is just going rogue here. For me, he's being fed information and being told, look, drop this now. I don't get the point of this. I don't get the need for this to happen. It baffles me. It really baffles me. It just, for me, it just makes no sense. And if Richard Hughes and Edwards or whoever at the club is leaking this information, Do your job before you start shading someone else, because you ain't been doing your job yet. You ain't been doing your job yet. 3 contracts. And again, I'm not saying the 3 contracts are Richard Hughes' fault. I think that's the previous regime's fault. But bloody hell, like, you've had long enough to deal with this now. Like, instead of leaking stuff to the Joyce and whoever, how about you leak some news about these contracts being signed? How about you leak some news that these players have agreed terms? And how about you leak some news that we're going to be definitely signing players to help Slot go and win this Premier League in January? Look, again, I'll sit and be the first to say I love Jurgen Klopp. I never wanted Klopp out, but I also believe it was the right time for him to leave in hindsight. But to throw dirt on his name and just pull these articles out your ass for the sake of it, I do better, man. I thought this was Liverpool Football Club now. I thought this means more. I thought we treat our legends with a bit more respect. I thought we treat players and managers who played for us and managed us in the past with more dignity than this. Are we forgetting what Jurgen Klopp did for this club? And again, I'm not one of these people who will just blindly support Klopp. I think everyone knows that. And it's one of the reasons I get a lot of criticism from a section of the fan base in this community. And I take it on the chin because I put myself out here on a platform. I say how I feel. Sometimes I get it wrong. Sometimes I get it right. I'm open for criticism. I am far from a perfect human being. I'm far from a perfect content creator. I'm far from a perfect football analyst. So I'll take that on the chin. I get it. I deserve to be criticized from time to time. But what is going on here? Like, do we forget what Jurgen Klopp did for this club? And again, I'm not going to sit here and act like Jurgen did it by himself. Like, Buvac played a part. Pep Linders played a part. Edwards played a part. But again, I've seen Edwards and Klopp work together, and that was when we were at our best. I've seen Klopp work without Edwards, and it was a little bit up and down. Recruitment was crazy. I'm now seeing Edwards without Klopp, or Hughes without Klopp, or whoever you want to call, and things are starting well with Slot. But you still haven't done your job. Slot's doing his job, just like Klopp was doing his job under FSG. Do your jobs. Stop putting out this crap about Klopp. It's stupid. We're meant to be a club that holds ourselves to a higher standard. I don't see any other club doing this. I don't see Arsenal putting stuff out about Wenger. I don't see Man United putting stuff out about Ferguson. I don't see all this stuff, but yet I'm seeing this about Klopp. The man who led us to a Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao twice, World Club Championship, European Super Cup. This is the guy we're going to throw under the bus. This is the guy we're going to throw under the bus. Do better, man. Joyce, do better, bro. Like, I get this is your job, but you still have dignity. Not everything you hear you have to release. Me, Matt, and Drift hear a lot about Liverpool behind the scenes from very credible people. You never hear us come out on here and speak about it. We speak about it once it breaks publicly. We know a lot of stuff that happens before it happens. We don't just start throwing things out there and throwing people under the bus because we have dignity. Do better, man. Do better. That's my little rant. I know some people will disagree and some people will agree. I will sit there and tell you Klopp's not God. I know some people see him as God. He's not God. He made a bunch of mistakes, especially towards the end. But to treat him like this isn't necessary, man. It's not necessary at all. So, yeah, that's my little thought on that. Right, let's move on to other topics. More positive news. Alisson Becker, Elliott, Jayden Danns, and potentially Chiesa are back. So anyone who watched Inside Training, if you haven't, please do go and watch it. It's a good little 10 minutes to watch. Big up Pimp in Distress. Little bro's coming to big bro now. Seeing Alisson back is fantastic. Seeing him back is absolutely amazing. But one thing I'm going to say is, when was the last time you can think of us losing a world-class player who's arguably the best in their position and not missing them? Not often, right? That's what Kelleher's done. Kelleher has stepped into this role and we have not missed Alisson. I don't say that in a derogatory or rude way. We haven't missed him. This is all credit to Kelleher. But what I want to ask you guys, and this is what I have to ask you guys, should Alisson walk back into the starting 11? Should Alisson be guaranteed his spot back? And it is a tough one. A shout out to Grizz. I saw Grizz's tweet. Shout out to brother Grizz. I saw his tweet and said, look, nothing on Kelleher, but when the best player in the position comes back, they come into the team and he strikes fear into attackers. I hear that. I really do. And I agree with everything he says there. But I also have to say, merit. Does merit not stand for anything as well? I mean, Kelleher couldn't have done much more than he's done. Again, we know and we almost know it's an unkept secret that Kelleher's going to be off in the summer. But I mean, surely he deserves at least a Southampton game, nah? Or am I just being like hyperbolic? Again, maybe this is probably the biggest headache Slot has to an extent, because you have Alisson, who's the best in the world, and you have Kelleher, who, for me, starts for every team in the Premier League, barring maybe Arsenal and City. Maybe Aston Villa with Martinez as well. But he starts for a large proportion of teams in the Premier League. You could arguably say he starts for a lot of teams across Europe as well. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because Kelleher hasn't put a foot wrong. Plus, do you want to rush Alisson back? I know he started full-time training now, but do we want to rush him back? Why don't we just say, oh, no, just chill. Chill for a couple of weeks and we'll bring you in this game. And then another thing, this is where the conundrum comes in. Do you play him against Southampton? This is Alisson I'm talking about. Just to sort of give him a little bit of match fitness, a little bit of sharpness, because after that game, it's Real Madrid. And then after that game, it's Man City. Then after that game, it's Newcastle away. Then after that game, it's Everton away. It is a tough one. It really is a tough one. So I'm going to pose that question to you guys. Do you think Alisson should start and come straight back into the team? Also, Elliott as well. I mean, everyone was clamoring for Elliott while he was injured, saying, look, he's got to come into the team when he's back, because Soboz is just killing it at the moment in a bad way, by the way. Had a great game for Hungary against Germany. He scored a Panenka in the 99th minute as well to equalize, which is crazy cojones. And looked really good playing from the left-hand side. Shout out to Jamie Phillips. Me and Jamie been saying to play him from the left-hand side for a while, but that's neither here nor there. It's easy. You know it's easy. Well played. That was sick. I rate that. Zizi. Well played. You've even made me lose my trail of thought there. Well played, Zizi. Well played. What was I saying? Yes, Elliott. Everyone was saying, look, he's got to come into the team for Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai had a really good game, but he's not been playing well for Liverpool. But Szoboszlai hasn't been starting recently. It's been Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones has been having good games for club and country. So Elliott just went from trying to displace Szoboszlai to now having potentially having to displace Jones and Szoboszlai. So I'll ask you guys, obviously different situations, the Alisson and Kelleher situation, but how soon would you like to see Elliott start getting game time, and how soon would you like to see him start starting games? Because I do think Elliott's creativity and his eye for a goal could be really helpful in that number 10 position, especially given that Szoboszlai hasn't been doing that this season. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And then another player who's come back, who everyone knows how highly I rate this kid, and that is Jayden Danns. Jayden Danns is back in training, had a really bad back injury, but he is back now. I'm really interested to see how Slot views his future, his immediate future. I think he's got a future at the club. I think he's such a good finisher, and he's a specimen of an athlete. But he was rumored to have been going on loan in the summer, but that obviously didn't happen because of his injury. Do we keep him for the rest of the season, or do we try and loan him out in January? I'm 50-50 on it. One, because of Jota's injuries, could it be worth keeping him around just as a backup for Núñez? Or two, does he go and get some game time? Now he's back from injury and actually get some minutes under his belt at a better level than just playing here and there for Liverpool or in the under-23s, and we see if he can kick off from there. I'm interested. I'm interested to see your take on it. I'm interested to see what happens there as well, because I do think it would be a smart move to keep him just for the rest of the season, especially considering we're in November now. It'd be a short loan spell. It'd be from January to May. I do think it would be handy keeping him around, if I'm going to be honest, especially given Jota's injury worries. A shout out to Marcel, been asking the question in the chat, what about Jota? Honestly, bro, I have no idea. No idea. And again, I keep on saying this. I've had a rib injury and can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chat. Once again, if you know my history, my laptop is doing a bit of a madness, so let me know if you guys can hear me. Just a little sign in the chat, please, guys, if you can, just to let me know you can hear me. Yes, okay. Where was I? Just waiting for my laptop to reload, and then you'll be able to see my face. Not that many of you are clamoring to see my face, but you'll be able to see my face. As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by my laptop. Yeah, I would keep Jayden Danns around. Don't know what's going on with Jota. I've had rib injuries in the past and chest injuries, and there is no time scale on it, in my opinion. There is literally just you just wait and see, because if you rush him, the injury could start up again, and you just have to take your time with Jota. And again, I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, he's never available. This injury isn't on him. This was a weird coming together of a situation where he's running through on goal, he gets taken out, and then the player lands on him. But it's still very frustrating, right? Especially given his talent in front of goal and the fact that Nunes can be inconsistent. I know Nunes got the first goal the other day, but we need Jota. If we're going to win this league, I think we need Jota. We need a fit and firing Jota. And we haven't had a firing Jota this season. We've had a fit Jota for most part of the season, but not a firing Jota. So we need that, in my opinion. And the quicker we get that, the better. So I would keep Jayden Danns about just for the foreseeable future and then go from there. Right, moving on to the next topic, and that is Baleba, or Baleba, however you want to pronounce it. The Brighton centre midfielder, 20-year-old, has been linked with Liverpool. Look, I remember when we were looking for a DM last season when we were trying to chase Caicedo, for example. And a few people were tweeting saying, why are we going after Caicedo? Or why are we going after X, Y, and Z? Why don't we just see who Brighton are going after? Or might we just intercept the signing there? And looking at it, we kind of should have done that. Baleba's been really good for Brighton, and shout out to Ryan Adset, who we did the preview for the Brighton game with. He said he's the next one. He's the next big thing.
he replaced Caicedo, who replaced Basuma, and it seems every time they replace a player, they seem to replace them with someone better. It's actually quite scary how good Brighton's recruitment is, especially when it comes to defensive midfield. And he looks brilliant. He's still young. He's only 20 years old. Maybe that could be a snag because you look at what we kind of need right now. We maybe need a little bit more experience in the midfield, but in terms of playing style and everything, he offers everything. He's very press resistant. He's very good in the tackle. He reads the game well. He's quick. He's strong, agile. Ticks all the boxes, right? So you'd kind of be thinking, yeah, let's do it. But then the question becomes, how much are Brighton going to charge Liverpool Football Club? Because it ain't going to be cheap. They bought him last summer. He still has something like 4 years left on his contract, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to cost an arm and a leg. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if we will go in for someone like him because of the price. It's a lot of money. And Brighton are well within their rights to ask for that sort of money. Well within their rights. But we're not going to do that, I don't think. I don't think we're going to spend that sort of money that would be needed to buy him. Plus, is he better than other players who are potentially available? Is he better than a Shuameni? Is he better than a Zubamendi? In my opinion, not right now. He's not, no. So, if that's the case, do you go for him now? Because I get you have a massive ceiling with him. You have an upside, but we kind of need someone for now. So, why take that risk now when, in actual fact, we kind of need to go and get someone who's ready-made for the position now? Or maybe you guys disagree. Maybe you think he is ready-made. Maybe you think he is the guy right now. I know Drift rates him extremely highly. I rate him as well. I just don't know if he's what we need right now for today, because we need someone to be able to walk into this team and go, yeah, this is my position now. Someone who, in my opinion, will allow Gravenberch to really go and just go from what he's doing now to potentially just dominating everything. We've not seen Gravenberch be able to really drive with the ball and make penetrative runs and arrive late into the box and be a goal scorer midfielder, which is stuff that he can do. So for me, I would potentially look at someone like a Shuameni right now, but he's good, man. He's very good. Look, I'm just gonna say, if we sign Baleba, I'm all good, man. There'd be no complaints from me. And do you know what? Shout out to Anila, saying, look, shouldn't be speaking about the price or shouldn't have to worry about the price. I get it, but I think every club has limits as well. I don't just think it's ours. Ours are probably more pronounced than other clubs, but I don't think it's just our club that goes, oh, we're not spending that sort of money. So I do think we still have to be mindful of what we're doing. Hold on, guys. I'm about to log back in on my laptop.
All right. Hear me, see me? Yes, no? Let me know, guys. Let me know. Another player that I like, and I've said I'd really like at Liverpool, is Angelo Stiller as well. I think Baleba and Stiller are different players. I think Stiller's more of a conductor. Baleba's more of a I tell you who Baleba reminds me a little bit of, actually. Tottenham's Musa Dembele. Not as good, by the way, before anyone goes crazy. Not as good. But he reminds me a little bit of him, whereas Angelo Stiller reminds me a little bit of a maybe a Nuri Sahin when he was back in his prime at Borussia Dortmund. So they're both different players and they both complement us brilliantly. But for me personally, I may steer towards Angelo Stiller. In an ideal world, you go and get both in it, but this isn't an ideal world, and we also do know what we're dealing with our owners. Plus, there's an argument to say we don't actually need two centre midfielders either. So I'm interested to see what happens here. Do I think we'll go and get him? I don't think so in January. If we look at him, it will definitely be in the summer. That's if we look at him. It will not be in January. But I want to ask you guys 2 questions. How much do you think it would take for us to get him? And then the second question is, would he be an automatic starter in Liverpool's team? And I know, look, I'm guilty of it as well. Sometimes the shiny new toy, I'm like, yeah, definitely. But genuine question, does he start for Liverpool Football Club straight away? Shout out to Ryan Rijkaard. If you guys watched the France game yesterday, you'll see Manu Kone was doing his thing. But, you know, I got terrible talent ID, I'm told. So, you know, what can you do? What can you do? All jokes aside, though, smash that like button if you haven't already, guys. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. On to a story that's kind of come out of nowhere from the Gazzetta in Italy. Marcus Thuram's been linked with a move to Liverpool, and he has a 70 million release clause in his contract. I want to be as respectful as possible. Look, I'm just going to say, I don't rate Marcus Thuram. I don't rate him. Introvert audio, no, I didn't want Anthony. That wasn't me. That wasn't me. No. Look, I'm all good with you guys criticizing me, but no lies on my name, please. Never, ever did I want Anthony at Liverpool. I repeat, never, ever did I want Anthony at Liverpool. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Just want to clear that up. I just want to clear my name. But yeah, Marcus Thuram for me is not it at all. He doesn't move me in the slightest. Raul Thomas, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he's better than Núñez. I don't think Thuram is actually better than Darwin Núñez, personally. Got decent hold-up play. He misses a hell of a lot of chances. He's not pretty on the eye at all. He's not even really that effective, in my opinion. He's good for Inter in Italy. In the Premier League, I think he struggles. Again, guys, with all due respect, I hear you. I hear that you've got your opinions, and I don't think he's better than Darwin Núñez. And again, this is not me. Like, you guys know my thoughts on Darwin. I'm not a Darwin guy like that. I'm not a Darwin fanboy. He's not better than Darwin, in my opinion. If Darwin was playing for Inter Milan, I think you'd get the same or better numbers than Marcus Thuram. Like, Marcus Thuram for me is not that guy. But I don't think Liverpool are looking at this. 70 mil for Marcus Thuram. Like, do me a favor, man. We're not doing that. I trust Edwards when it comes to recruitment. He ain't doing that. He's not doing that. So we'll see. Again, it will be for me the most shocking transfer I've seen in recent times if we were to move for Marcus Thuram. And he seems really settled and happy in Italy as well. I know Inter are in some financial turmoil at the moment and need to sell Bastoni. But if we're going to Inter, then we got my brother Halftime Hooks. Guys, subscribe to Hooks' channel. We ain't replacing him. He ain't going anywhere yet, bro. God willing. But yeah, yeah, for me, Marcus Thuram ain't it. I don't think we're going for him, and I hope we don't go for him. If we are going to go and get a striker, for me, go and get the best in class. Go and get the best available. Don't just go and get someone who's on the same level or, in some people's opinions, slightly better than what we have. If we're going to go and get a striker, go and get an Isak. Go and get a Gyökeres. Go and get someone that you look at and go, it's very unlikely that this is going to fail. Thuram is a 50-50 gamble. Promo, Havertz or Thuram, Cal. This might really sound like I'm shading Thuram. I'd rather have Havertz than Thuram. I do not rate Thuram. I really don't. I think he's big and he's strong, got good pace, but he ain't it, man. He just ain't it for me. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But look, gonna wrap up there, people. If you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, Hooks is in the building as well. Go and subscribe to Halftime Hooks, one of the best Arsenal fans out there, level-headed and a really, really good guy as well, and doing some great stuff in this space. Quite a lot of you disagree. Quite a lot of you disagree and think Marcus is the guy. I don't want to say Marcus is the guy that you guys say Marcus is, but quite a lot of you feel as though he's better than the Nunes and Havertz, for example. I really don't. I really don't. It's easy. Zizi, you've been on fire today. I can't lie, bro. I don't know if I've done something to trigger you, but you've been cooking me today. Zizi says, gonna watch the Caicedo stream now to prepare myself for Baleba. Raw, that's harsh, you know. I ain't even said I've been staying away from the curses. I have been very particular with my words. Look, I hear you. Some of you rate Thuram. I'm not saying that you're wrong. He's not for me, man. He's not for me. Ryan Rijkaard, it's so funny you said that. Me, Jamie, and Luke Tanner were having this conversation about Gyökeres yesterday, saying I don't think it'd be a dead cert if he came to the Premier League that he'd kill it, because he'd be going to one of the bigger teams. And usually when you're playing as one of the bigger teams, you usually come up against mid or low blocks. Whereas in Portugal, he's scoring a lot of goals on the transition as opposed to finding that little bit of space or using nimble footwork to score goals. Still a very good striker, though. Like, again, no secret. If we're going for a striker, go and get Isak. If you're going to spend big money on a striker, go and get Isak. And I know the injuries are a problem, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, they are. But who else is out there that you can go and get that you, in my opinion, can say, yeah, it's going to guarantee you as many goals as Isak when he's fit? I don't think there is anyone. Knows the Premier League. Isak in this team, with this manager, with this structure, Isak, Salah, and Diaz/Gakpo would be an absolute madness for teams to deal with. An absolute madness. João Pedro is another one, yeah. João Pedro is a brilliant footballer as well. Again, more of a false 9 for me, which I don't know if we need now that we play with a 10. But yeah, João Pedro is he's a fantastic footballer as well. So yeah, if you're gonna go and get me someone, go and get me someone like that. Shout out to Raul Thomas. Do you listen to Tom Little? Because if that's the case, then he'll be very happy you just said that. Cunha's also, look, he had a great game before the international break, Cunha as well. I just don't know if Cunha's on the level of the others. Chris Wood, absolutely not. No, we ain't doing that. Them days are gone, God willing. But look, people, we are going to be back later with a show. I'm not sure what time yet, so make sure you switch on the notification bell. Also, follow us on social media. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, now known as X. So make sure you follow us there for any updates as well. It's been a pleasure, people. Until I see you next time, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We are Team Kopish, and we're out, people. Take care.